Hey everyone, it's Keli Laverty with Be Rooted Wellness Studio here for another Movement Monday practice. And I am a board certified dance movement therapist here in Westchester, Pennsylvania. And I have a studio space for people to come in and work in person, one-on-one, as well as in classes. And we work on using movement as a tool for your mental health through psychotherapy, through nervous system regulation, through just overall wellness, how much movement in our body needs to play a part in our health. We can't just think about it. We just can't be in our heads all day long. Our body carries our stress, it carries our emotions, our patterns, everything. And so we need to involve the body in our health, especially our mental health. So I'd love to know if you have done that, if you notice that in your life, if you notice that when you strength train, you are building up strength, not only physically, but also mentally and emotionally. How when you go out for a walk in nature, how you start to just kind of organize and find some ease in your body. How maybe when you take rest and you can get your mind to stop spinning and come out of that kind of go mode and using your phone or all the technology, all the constant pinging in our life, right? If we can step out of that and find a break from that, how do we do that? We do it by coming into our body. So that is my main message, and our Movement Monday practices are all about using movement as mental health, as a tool for you. And so if you've been tuning in and following each week, most recently we've been exploring how to find ease in our body, how to come into safety through soothing, through different ways of moving and kind of bringing more lightness, more softness into the body. And today I want to challenge that a little bit. I want to come into more of the emotional strength and how we build that in our body and through movement, because it's not just, strength isn't just about how much you can physically lift at the gym or how much you can just push through and we're so strong because we can keep going even with all this stress, and we can just push it through and hold so much, we take on so much. That's strength, but that also is going to lead to burnout. So what is emotional strength, and how can you allow yourself to be emotionally, mentally, physically strong? And in my experience as a therapist, those of us that are strongest aren't just able to grit through and get through and then crash. It is how flexible or how adaptive we are, and how much capacity do we have to stay present and move through the emotions, move through the experience of whatever it is, good, bad, whatever. So that's what we're going to practice today, is moving through and bringing practice to how the different energies that we can move, the different energies we can experience. Because if you practice those and can build your ability and tolerance to be in that, that's how you build capacity. That's how we build strength. So for me, our capacity, the amount of capacity that we can hold, we can feel without shutting down, without getting stuck, without exploding and feeling out of control, that is the capacity I'm talking about. That is strength. So it's not about doing it right or wrong, or being calm all the time and just go with the flow. I used to think that was the best way to handle everything. It's like, I'm good because I just go with the flow. That's also kind of disconnected from a lot of things. So that is something that if we can allow ourselves to be like, I can handle different anxiety, I can handle the stress, I can handle activation as things get hard. That's what I'm talking about. So to that end, I want you just to start noticing how it feels to move in your body a little bit more than you are. So if you're still, if you haven't been moving today, if you've been sitting or just kind of tight and kind of holding yourself, energy streaming in, I want you just to start letting energy move through your body. Maybe bring yourself to a little bit of shaking, a little breath, breathing, maybe taking a few steps. I'm going back and forth because I'm in camera, but you could take a walk around the room. You could be listening outside to this. You can go any direction that you want. And I want you to start to just kind of intensify that shake, that movement, that bounce. So that can mean you bring it up faster. The speed at which you're moving, maybe intensify that. Move faster. Maybe you're moving harder, bringing a little bit more power in to your movement. And feel how that activates different parts. Feel how that might start to feel for your body. If you need a break, you don't have to do it for very long. You just get to have a taste. And building our capacity isn't to go just from one extreme to the other, but it's to bring a little bit in and notice, and then recover, take a moment. So then maybe now you're finding a little bit more energy again, finding a way to move it. So I'm coming up off the ground a little bit. I'm gonna push down into the ground. Your movements don't have to be fast. They could, maybe you're by a wall and you can like really push and find that tension all throughout the body. Stretching. Notice where, as you're doing this, where does your body respond? Where does your comfort? How do you know if it's easy or challenging for you? You're gonna notice with your breath. You're gonna notice with thoughts or kind of impulses to stop, to slow, to keep going and like, oh yeah, let's put that in another body part because that was really fun and kind of started getting activated in a good way. And maybe it's not, that maybe for you, you haven't moved and it's like, oh, I really want to go even more. Let yourself go to a little bit more intensity. Do you like when you're bringing the energy in and feeling really energy coming in? Do you like energy going out? What body parts do you like to move right now? I'm noticing I'm liking bringing some flow into my body, some wiggle, some different directions. I don't want to be just linear or kind of punch. That when I was punching, I was like, not really liking that. So I'm like, I want more flow, which might mean that I need to come back to that punch. It might mean like, okay, what movements can be more strong? What? Can be more getting the breath going, getting more. Which ones are more challenging for me? It's all gonna be different for each of us. So noticing what just building a little bit at a time is like. We don't need to keep going for an hour. This does not have to be a crazy workout or anything. It's just like, okay, what did this tell me? This little bit of movement where it's giving me information for the day. I wonder if you're watching, what is it maybe have you curious about for me as you observe my movements? The things that look easy on the outside might be easy for me on the inside, but I might have a different perspective. I might have a different experience of, okay, that seems very easy because it's comfortable and I do that all the time and I'm not really breaking out of my pattern. So as I said, let me go back to the one that really got me going in my chest and my breath and like the most uncomfortable was the punching. And so really allowing myself to come back to that and say, maybe this week I need a little bit more time spent with more direct energy, more just putting energy out and forward. And how might that be if I approach my week that way? What do I need to go forward in right now with a little bit more oomph and more directness? And I want to tend to play and stay in this more flowy, expressive space, but maybe I need a little bit more direction. That's something for me to ask myself and explore this week, because I noticed in my body that that pattern came up. So that's a little taste of how movement, as you try different energies, can spark different thoughts, different emotional experiences, and maybe some curiosity in your life. So I'd love for you to find kind of what your response was when you started to shake, or started to punch, or started to open up, right? When you started to move your upper body or your lower body. And there's so many more movements we haven't explored. We will keep going a little bit next week to bring some more challenge in, to try a little bit different qualities. And I'd love to hear this week what other qualities you explore. So comment below or reach out via email, via our website, and let me know how this is going. And if this is something that's bringing up a lot for you and you're not really sure what to do with that activation, that emotion, because movement shifts how we feel and think. And if that is overwhelming or hard, please reach out. I'm, again, a dance movement therapist, and I work one-on-one with people, and you can be anywhere. We can be virtual, and I can help support you through this as you find different ways to move in your life so that you can feel more joy and more freedom. And please check us out if you are local. We'd love to have you in class. And I teach a weekly intuitive movement class where we explore all these different qualities so that we can expand our movement capacity each week in our life. So tune in, reach out about that class if you'd like to join as well. Talk to you later.